Okay, right. Let's just start settling into the breath here. And we're just going to start washing over an azure blue light. With the inhale and exhale, we're going to take it down and around, fully encapsulating all of your sphere. And as this beautiful azure blue sphere builds around you, this light textured, pearlized, hexagonal grid shell overlay just sits and connects into the outside of the grid, outside of the sphere, as if it's weaving itself into it. And as it does, it begins to flash with light. And within each of the hexagons, there are a multitude of light codes running updates. And as it intercepts in with the blue, an expansion of light emerges, and then an unclogging of black goo tar-like bubbles starts to rise to the surface. Okay. The area that feels most impinged with this as well is the back side of the third eye, with compression coming through the front as if running reversal frequency or acting as a kind of like a magnetic inversion. And then behind this inversion frequency, there is a metallic tree of life, an artificial tree of life that is really what we need to focus in on actually today, because what we want to do here is just unlock the essence held within this. And again, the victimizer energetic locking in the victim into the artificial circuitry of the artificial tree of life. We're going to also call in the Aurora platform here to wash through the machinery levels. Tia kia kratia nao kuya kura. Just highlighting any area of dissociation that may be rising as well within this. We want to kind of just come back to the present if we feel ourselves drifting off too far or into a void space. And as we kind of identify those locations, we can see how the consciousness has been kind of trapped within machinery, trapped within a void that's being then used to charge and power up the reversal system. And with this awareness, we're then going to call in the source consciousness back into the aspects locked within the artificial tree of life. Okay, this is then opening awareness to um, Gaia, Azurite, and Hyperborea. And as we pinpoint within the planetary field, sparking awareness through the mountaintops, particularly Mount Kailash, we're going to use this source consciousness as an energetic point, which Mount Kailash, I believe, is actually the crown chakra of the earth as well. And this reversal network runs quite heavily through the seventh dimensional field. It does it through multiple locations, but the 7D has been coming to me today as well. So let's engage the source consciousness within that. We're also going to engage it within the artificial tree of life. And we want to join the nodes, the lines, and the source frequency and you may start feeling your body getting very hot here as well. That's quite common, quite normal. As we move a transduction sequence through the planetary field into the dragon lines, awakening the dragon bodies and also opening through the Albion. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow. Surrender to the process. And if that means your mind cuts out, and you go a bit blank, that's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. seeding the Unisi through the dragon lines and the Albion. Um, Spinning the Mount Kailash crown chakra, a propulsion of current decompresses through the planetary field and up through the mountain, presenting as a black smoke storm above Kailash. And the aurora weaving through the planetary grid field, the seventh dimensional field, to intercept the digressive or damaged reversed currents. And axiotonal lines. Big, big, big heat moving through the body. Solar plexus pain and unlocking. And quite a heavy pressure, probably about 6 inches just forwards of the crown. 6 inches above the crown and forwards. Okay, let's feel into that. Okay, what I'm kind of picking up within that is a kind of crackling um electrical spark that when it's engaged with Aurora, it seems to kind of uh continue to dissolve or continue to kind of show itself. So we want to kind of get more information out within this as well. I mean, this has Anunnaki written all over this, I'm not going to lie. Okay. Yeah, exactly that. Okay, so there's the Anunnaki Ahura deity that's kind of presenting right in front of me here. What we're going to do is release, revoke, rescind oaths, vows, agreements, contracts, and covenants with this deity, this false god. Okay, it feels connected into NRG as well. Um, and as I'm observing the contract dissolution, the left side of the body is starting to get very tight, but then unlocking over the back side of the heart, the back left side of the body. The heavy reversal restriction, moving through the body here, which is also presented with a dove grid, Jehovian dove grid. Okay, we've got more contracts coming up here. And then how I'm seeing this is layers of souls, layers of collectives, and layers of your own energy intermeshed and interwoven within this dove grid. Let's go ahead again, release, revoke, rescind covenants, contracts, oaths, vows, agreements. Connect the source identity through the souls. Okay, and then what is also kind of coming up within this is like a constriction, a persecution, a blinding entrapment. So it's running as if I've got a kind of blindfold over my eyes. And it is a process of surrender yet again. Dropping into the heart. Commitment to God, commitment to source. Commitment to oneness. Dissolving the tangulation of black nets. And just holding steady here as we see the enmeshment, feel the enmeshment, know that you are safe unconditionally. And this is the way through. It is the blind faith turns to true faith through feeling of the restriction to allow yourself to become free. Vertical alignment. Opalescent currents moving down vertical pillar and into the grid, into the nets, and anchoring into the core of the earth. So it runs vertically and also horizontally across the grids, the intruder grids. And we just, in this moment, project out divine, unconditional love into the field, into the grids, which then moves as a recoding. Hold the imagery, recoding the nets, recoding the grids in order to dismantle base nodal architecture points across the planetary field and your own interpersonal, interdimensional uh, restrictions. Tia kia karatia na okura. Okay, and let's just review any points of information that's kind of coming up within this as a point to dismantle the heaviness. Any feelings of persecution coming up here, we want to just start stripping out victimization and stripping out persecution. Any Hieros, Gamos reversals. So anti-Hieros, Gamos templating, which would be done through the NRG, and it will be done through the Jehovian dove grid as well. Set an intention here for building divine sacred marriage. And just feel as you set that intention, how the heart just starts to unlock here. The tightness within the heart, the tightness within the body, and the hips, it all begins to unlock as we make a commitment here, make an intention to actually, do you know what? I want to be within sacred union. I want to be within a divine union with my masculine and feminine uh, aspects, counterparts, lovers. This is your decree, this is my decree. And this is the statement of intention held within the NRG, Nephilim reversal grid. God source, hear our prayer. Da'aya kia karatniana okora, shnakia karatana akia karama atabohi okora shaki. And just feel all of this longing and separation release from the back side of the heart. You may even find your back clip as well. And a sense of peace washing over the body. and feel the feminine side of you go through a process of weeping, a process of deep grief through her realization that actually she is wanted, she is needed. So we can start lifting out the layers of discrimination, inequality, hearing her loneliness. This has all been seen and registered. So when it's been seen and registered, it's got nowhere to anchor to anymore. The only way it can go is into awareness in order for it to clear. Tā auki e karati ana o kora. Feeling the frequency of union, moving into the planetary field, and thus in turn to your own personal connection to yourself, bridging the connection on every layer. And as we anchor the union bond codes, let's watch them just run across the planetary field, run through Divine Mother Earth, and see her plant life blossom and bloom. Rich, ripe fruit growing on the trees, healthy oxygen from the trees, the stink of deforestation, pollution, attacks on habitats, releasing all of this gas-like substance, this black gas substance. Okay. And then I'm just getting memories of Lemuria coming up here and the kind of abundant blessings onto the earth body. It's like a kind of a rejoicing and a loving connection to the earth balance. So a union bond from earth to people, a union bond from people to the divine, and a union bond with one another. Strong unity consciousness coming in. Kyokia na kyokraja. Focusing in on global peace, universal peace. We'll start with global peace first. World peace. And as you focus in on the peace, just notice how the heart opens with this pink heart shape and spirals of this azure blue that came at the start, front and back. Amazing. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it into the universal field. We've got King Arthur standing through this emanation of peace, again in this azure blue, crystalline light as it runs through the universal structure. We've got the solar dragons coming around the round table with King Arthur in the middle. And Lady Guinevere now appearing before him. Okay, and we're going to take it up a notch again. We're going to go into a multiversal perspective here. Creating a multiversal grid. Connecting into the God worlds. And then into the omniversal perspective, which is all locations. And then we're going to take it up into the source field. And just allow that source field to wash down through every single layer. You may just get snippets of the inter-universal, I suppose, or interversal Christos races, also connecting in, joining into this. Anchoring in to the Sophianic core of the earth. Hold the fields. As we just allow this to wash through. Inhale, exhale, fill the waters. fill the deep emotional body of the planet. Lovely. And we're just going to start calling ourselves back now. We're going to update through all fields. We're going to update through all localized grids. We're going to remember that image of this entire omniversal source point grid of every single Christos race throughout the omniverse, interconnecting here. And we're just going to allow the exchange of source code to wash through, integrate and update. And then I'm also seeing this kind of update our own planetary grid as well. It's like a rebuilding of light grids here, or a building of new light grids as well. Okay. Let's inhale, exhale, update through all fields, update through all localized grids, move to seal, now forward through all levels or layers of light, through all bodies and through the breath of the divine. I am presence, inhale, exhale, recode, release, and seal. Thank you, everybody.